Okay, guys, so now we're going to go through and we're going to look at a client's perspective. We have spoken to all of our clients, asked for feedback. We've also looked at feedback that we have had on the field when we've been working as well, complaints that we've had given to us, and we've written up something for you guys to see what a client is feeling and um what they're expecting when you're on the field, so that you can see them through their eyes and that you can understand them better to give them the best care. So please really take time to look through this, read it, and understand it. Put yourself in their shoes and really be able to walk their walk, okay? So we've spoken to all of our clients and we got lots of feedback. And the one main thing that we got from our clients was that they were saying to us, it doesn't matter how many degrees you have. You can have 1,000 degrees, but that means nothing if you can't do the things that we're about to talk about, okay? Degrees mean nothing to them. So just read this little quote. It said, I failed in some subjects in exam, but my friend passed in all. Now he is an engineer in Microsoft and I am the owner of Microsoft. Really think about that and let that sink in, guys. Running late. I know that you think, oh, I'm only 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes late. What's the big deal? But when you're late, it throws everybody else out and all their routines out. So you being 5 minutes late is going to push maybe your client's parent 5 minutes late to their job. Their boss isn't going to yell at you, they're going to yell at that client. So you need to understand that lateness is not acceptable. We understand that lateness is going to happen. We understand that traffic can be a nightmare. We understand that issues happen, but be respectful. Try and give yourself that courtesy of leaving a little bit earlier, knowing the times of days that you're driving. And if you're running late, call your client first. I can't stress this enough. Call your client first. Your client first, okay? Let them know what's going on. Be in contact with them immediately. That's what they want. They want that courtesy call. Okay, guys, call them, discuss with them. If you can't get through to them, call the office so that we can at least send them a message and be able to be that relay for you. But you should be contacting your client, okay? You cannot use initiative, especially if something happens that was not expected. So we need you guys to be able to be thinking outside of the box constantly in this job. We need you to be able to go, hey, my client's not playing the game today. My client doesn't want to get dressed. My client doesn't want to go for a walk. My client doesn't want to do the game that we're supposed to do or make their lunch like we're supposed to. Think outside of the box. What are you going to do? Are you going to go up and have a dance party with them? Are you going to sing songs? Are you going to put on their favorite show? What are you going to do? Think outside the box, get in there, talk to them, whatever it may be, but don't give up. Okay, be able to have that initiative to say, hey, let's think outside the box, let's try something new. Maybe it's something you haven't done before, maybe it's something that's worked before. Keep on trying. Okay, have that initiative. If you are asked to do a task, even if it's outside your scope of what you think you should be doing, and you refuse or are reluctant to do it. So, for an example, you show up to do a shift, you're only meant to be showering that client, and that client asks you if you can strip their bed, remake it, and put their washing on. And then you go, oh, sorry, that was outside of what I was told to come here. You need to understand that we are doing in-home support and we are there to be support workers, and to be a support means that we are there to support them in their everyday needs. So even though it may not be in their plan, we need to be able to have that ability to say, actually, yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to do that. Now, obviously, if that client is asking you to do something extremely dangerous, have that conversation, say, look, that's really dangerous what you're asking me to do. If they're still, saying, oh, you need to do it, just ring the office. Say, look, maybe we just need to discuss this with the office because I'm really not feeling safe to do that. And maybe we can find out another solution to help that client, okay? But please be aware that we are more than what the support plan says. Think about a client who may be Down syndrome, nonverbal, who, is 30 something years old, and the mother says, "Oh, look, can you go clean the bathroom and make their bed today?" Well, you would expect a normal 30 something year old would wake up, make their bed, and be able to assist in house chores. So maybe it's raining outside and you can't take that client for a walk. So, well, assisting with something that that client would normally be able to do in a home is going to be helping the impersonal supports to be able to have some rest and recreation, which is really what we're there for. No phones at work. I cannot stress this enough, guys. We've spoken about it in our orientation, and I'm just going to keep on harping on about it. We understand that you guys may have dependents at home, or situations going on that you do need to take phone calls. Be honest with your client and say, "Hey, look, I've got a few children at home. They're with a babysitter maybe. And, I just need to have my phone on me just in case something happens. And if that phone rings, to say, hey, look, it is my babysitter. Can I quickly take that phone call?" But you don't need to be on your phone the whole entire shift. You're not going to die if you don't look at the next social media. Wait till you get off work, okay? It's only appropriate to use phone for an emergency phone call, or if you're writing up notes. I always say 5-10 minutes before you finish your shift, write up those notes. Or some clients say, because of everything that happens on a shift, when something great happens, you can quickly write it down so you don't forget. But have those conversations and say, "Hey, I'm just going to quickly write up some notes now," okay? Talk to them, but seriously, be aware of how much you're on your phone. If I'm getting lots of complaints that you're on your phone, it will get moved into official warnings, and eventually even loss of shifts. Okay, guys, it's not appropriate. Just stay off your phone. If you turn up to a shift and are regularly overtired, I know that you think that, "Oh, I'm just sleepy, it's fine, I'll just drudge through," but we're not just sitting there, and we're not just at a checkout just scanning, and not having to use our brain. Okay. We are actually there trying to give supports to the informal supports. And when we're tired and we're not alert and we're not on our ball and on our game and we're all foggy and we're not thinking and we're going, "Oh, okay, we'll just let them watch TV because I'm too tired to care," then the informal supports are now stuck going, "Well, okay, I really need you to do X, Y, Z today, and I really need you to do this, and I really need you to be on your game and helping me." And when you're not, when you're not there, when you're not helping them, then you're not giving that rest and recreation that they really, really need. So please be aware, just get some good rest, before a shift. And if you show up and you are really tired, be honest with your client. Say, "Look, I'm sorry, maybe you've got a newborn, whatever, and you just had a really bad night. I'm really tired. I got a little bit of sleep. I'm living off caffeine," and then maybe you guys can work something out as well. But if this becomes a regular thing, we may have to look at swapping shifts and everything to give you shifts where you can be more on the ball, okay? Have not acquainted yourself with the client, okay? If you just read this little quote over here, "We cannot enter into alliance until we are acquainted with the designs of our neighbors." Okay, let that sink in and just understand no client is the same. I don't care if you are with two clients that have autism, or two clients that have muscular atrophy, or two clients that have Down syndrome. It does not matter. Every single one of them are going to be different. Every single one of them are going to have their likes and their dislikes, and every single one of them are going to have their own personalities. Get to know them. Don't stand there on your high horse saying, "Well, I've read every book and I know what your disease is about and I understand who you are." Don't sit there and tell the client's parents that you know more about their child than they do. Take the time to listen, to understand. Take your time to get to know your client and really be acquainted with them and grow that rapport with them. When you have a rapport with them, you can give them the best care because you know who your client is. If you have been asked to sit in a therapy session and take no interest in what is going on, guys, everybody wants to know, everybody that you're supporting wants to know that you care about their goals. That's what we are here in this job to do. So if you're sitting there and you're in a therapy session and you're paying no interest, no care, not putting in any input, not, saying, hey, this thing's really great, what's happening, or hey, how can we do this better, or hey, what can we implement to do better in whatever, and really taking part, or even just actively listening and writing notes for what they're saying, then that client is going to feel like, well, they don't care about my support plan. They don't care about what's going on with me. They don't actually actively want to help me, which is going to, in fact, make them feel really bad, really just feel like that you don't want to be there, that you're just there to take money off them, which in effect is going to end up having them either not want your services or just leave completely. So please be aware to take serious interest when you're with a client in their session, in their therapy sessions. If you cancel shifts on a regular basis, guys, I really can't stress this enough. This is something that we will be tracking in our company as well. And we understand shifts may need to be cancelled. We understand in COVID times that things happen and that things need to be cancelled. We understand that, that you, once again, that you have dependents or whatever, and that things may happen. But if we're seeing on a regular basis that you're consistently cancelling shifts on a Friday or a Monday just to get a long weekend, well, that's going to raise some issues for our company, which is going to in fact get you written warnings. But on top of that as well, if you can't build, if you're consistently not at your shifts and cancelling, how are you meant to build that rapport that we literally just talked about before, getting to know your clients? You can't get to know your clients and build that rapport if you're not at shifts, guys, okay? Cannot say it enough. And also just taking consideration that when you cancel a shift, then you're also throwing out everybody else, because now we've got to fill that shift with another worker, and that worker may have already had plans and now they've had to cancel those plans to fill your shift. So just think about how much that runs down the line, and really just have some respect there, guys, and really consider before canceling a shift. And also remember to, if you need to cancel a shift, give us some warning. If you wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning and you have a shift at 3 p.m. in the afternoon and you're going, oh, I don't feel so great, but oh, well, I'll just hold in there. And then 20 minutes before shift saying, I don't really feel that great, and cancelling, it's not going to go down so well. Okay. Call us at 6 a.m. Say, look, I'm not feeling really great. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to make it. Gives us some time to be able to prepare for that shift to be taken over. Okay. Tell me you have access to your own car or a pinch driver's license, but you do not. You need to understand that our clients 99% of the time will require you to have car access and a vehicle and a license, and a valid license. Okay, they're trusting their children with you in their vehicle, in your vehicles. Okay, not all of our clients get funding for travel through taxis and stuff, which means that they'd have to pay out of their own pockets, and that's just not feasible. So we really need you guys to be honest with your licenses, have your license up to date, have your cars up to date, serviced, and make sure that they're in good working condition, and that your licenses are always kept up to date, and if anything happens to your license, that we're notified. If you tell me you are okay with animals, but you turn up and flinch when you see there are pets in the household, please just remember that we live in Australia. Pets are going to be in 99.9% of homes that you go into, particular homes with people with a disability, as they're going to be some form of a helper dog or something like that, assistant dog. So please, a support dog or whatever it may be, they're going to have them. And if you tell me that you're okay and I send you to to a house with dogs or cats or whatever, and then you're sitting there awkwardly making the client then feeling bad that they, have this animal. It's not okay, because they're there to support them and to help them with their needs. And by you doing that is only making them feel like they can't have their needs fulfilled, okay? If you have an issue with any particular breed of dog or size of dog, anything like that, I need to be notified to ensure that I'm putting you into the right households. If you are constantly taking holidays, this once again goes back to the fact of the canceling shifts, guys. Just remember, your client's disability doesn't get to have a holiday. And if you're taking 20 holidays a year and you're only working 3 months of a year, how do you expect that you're actually going to be able to help your clients and help them to be able to get the support and growth and needs and their support plans being filled, and their strengths being built up if you're not there? So just be considerate. And when you're planning a holiday, talk to your client. Say, hey, I'm planning it around here and here. Is this going to be okay? Give notice and everything, so they have time to put supports in place. And always remember to be relaying these back to the office as well, so that we can track how many holidays you're already taking. If you do not complete your task correctly, so just think about the fact of, if you come in from shopping, you place all the shopping on the floor, and then you walk away and you leave. The next carer comes in and they get told, oh, can you go get the washing going because we have 6 loads to do today? And they say, well, the other carer hasn't put away the shopping. So now they spend half an hour antibacterial wiping and putting away all them, which now means that they've missed an entire load of laundry that could have been done. The next carer comes after that, and now the washing isn't finished and they needed them to clean the house. They can't do it. So as you can see, it's very important that you can complete your task, because it throws out their entire week when your tasks are incompleted. If you're constantly questioning why I have requested a specific task to be done, or constantly questioning why I have asked for a task to be done in a particular way, just like you, everybody has their way that they like things done. They have their things that they need done, and they have a system in their head and they've already worked it out. Just be respectful. I don't come into your house and ask you why you're doing something. And if any of us have got children out there, we know how annoying it is when you have your little kid saying, oh, but why? But why, Mum? But why? And you're just going, because I said so. Well, if it's annoying to us, then just remember it's going to be just as annoying to them to have a grown-up saying it to them. Incident reporting, can't stress this enough. No matter how small of an incident, report it. Tell your client immediately, tell the office immediately. Let's get it written up so that there are never anybody saying he said, she said. Okay, we don't want anyone coming to us and saying, well, they're obviously abusing my child, and then we all of a sudden have to have police involved and stuff. Okay, report. You cannot report enough. Okay, write everything down. You cannot write enough. You just can't. Okay, guys, it's for your own safety. So if you do not have open communication with me about how to do toileting with my children, so just remember that everybody has different needs and different specifications about how they want you to do toileting with their children. Some people want you to put the child in the toilet and wait on the outside. Some people want you to go into the toilet with them when you're out in public as well. Some people want you to take the child into the loo with you, while others need you to have the child on the outside. So have those open communications when you know that you need to do toileting with somebody, so that you can make sure that you're doing it in the most appropriate way that's going to make everybody comfortable. Read the room and follow the stop signs. Okay, have a look at this little graph that we have here, guys. Understand it. And really just learn how to read a room appropriately. Does your client need some space? Are they having an argument and you just need to back off and go find something to do in another room? Are they having family time and you need to go away and let them have that peace? Are they, are they needing a little bit of extra TLC? Whatever it is, read the room appropriately and adjust yourself accordingly. If you do not respect my house rules and systems, just like we were saying before about people not wanting you to ask them why about things, we'll also think about you don't like when people come into your house and move your things. If anyone once again has a child, we know how annoying it is when all of a sudden we can't find where our child has put our strainer or our coffee cup, because they've decided that, oh, well, I'm going to place it here. And then you spend an extra 10 minutes trying to find an object because your child's decided to move it. Well, it's just as annoying when a client has an adult doing that on their behalf. Okay, so just remember to have that respect, to understand that if you don't want it done in your house, don't do it in their house. Respect their rules, respect their systems in their house. And if you don't know where something goes, just ask. If you are constantly dumping your personal issues on me, word vomit, word vomit, word vomit. Okay, guys, it's not appropriate. Now, we understand every client you're going to have different relationships with. You're going to have different understandings with them. You're going to grow in different ways, but know your clients' levels, know where they are standing on things, and know how far you can push it. Okay, but don't be going there every shift going, you're my counselor. They are not your counselor. And if you're really in a troublesome times, guys, please contact us here at First and Great. Contact the admin and we can get you a counselor involved so that you can dump those issues onto those people. Okay, so that you're not dumping it onto a client who already has their own issues going on. Okay. If you are uncomfortable with dealing with people who are nonverbal or communicate or have communication difficulties, okay, just remember, guys, that you're going to get a lot of clients that have communication difficulties or are going to be nonverbal, and we really need you guys to be able to have respect in them. Look, we understand that maybe you have never worked with those types of people, and that's okay. Be honest when you first walk up, but just remember that every client, even if they can't verbalize, they have their way of communicating. Talk to their informal supports and say, how does this person communicate? Get to know your client. And as you grow and you learn them, you'll be able to see their cues, and that. But definitely have that conversation when you first go up. Say, hey, look, I've never really had a client that's nonverbal. Can you just help me to understand exactly how this client, how my client sort of verbalizes and tells me things, okay? So just really have that conversation and be upfront and upfront with it, because people are willing to tell you if you're willing to listen. Keep calm and stay busy. Can't stress this one enough, guys. Okay, you're not paid to do nothing. It's that plain, that simple. If there's a lull in your shift, just have a look around. Are there floors that need to be tidied, dishes that need to be done, washing that needs to be put on, bed sheets that need to be changed? If you don't see something that needs to be done, ask your client, okay? But take the initiative. Your client may say, hey, just take a chill and step back, but they might say, hey, I need X, Y, Z done, okay? So just ask. Keep yourself busy. If you do not respect my culture, background, or religious beliefs, okay, it's plain and simple. Everybody has their own cultures, their own beliefs, and they have their rights to them. Respect them, guys. And if we are finding out that you're not respecting people's values or their beliefs, guys, it's going to come seriously down, because we do not tolerate any form of disrespect in those ways in this company. If you punish my children, it is never appropriate for you to punish my children. Once again, never okay. I cannot ever say this. I can drone it into you 1,000 times, but never, ever punish a child. Not verbally, not physically. Talk to your client. We know that there's going to be clients that have behavioral issues. Talk to them. They're going to have behavioral plans set up. Know them. If you're working with people that have got other siblings, and that talk to the parents and say, okay, this child is being very naughty when I'm trying to work with my client. What do you want to do? Find out what the support plan is to be able to work out them, but never step in, never touch a child, never yell, never scream, never point fingers, just never punish, just never ever do it. And this is punishable by law. Okay, guys, cannot stress that enough. Never ever punish someone's child. If you close doors when doing an activity with a child, look, You need to understand what house you're in and you need to have these conversations with people. But in 99% of cases, people don't want doors closed. When doors are closed, people don't know what's happening. And if that child comes out and says that you've done XYZ, there's no proof to say you didn't. So find out from your client and that, do you want a door closed? Don't you want a door closed? And those types of things, okay? But if they have not specified, always leave a door open, okay? Just for your own safety. If you leave my child alone in a car, this is punishable by law. We all know this. Do not leave children in a car. If your client is refusing to get out of the car and you need to get them to speech and they're going, no, don't get out of the car. Don't walk inside and say they're not. No, find that speech number, give them a call or give the parent a call and let them know and make decisions while you're with the client, okay? Never ever leave a child alone in a car. If you expect me to buy you food or drinks, okay, look guys, we know that you're going to be going out with clients. We know that you'll be out in the community, but it is not appropriate for you to be asking or manipulating your clients to pay for your food or drinks. This needs to come out of your own pocket. It's that plain, that simple. Now, a client may offer you a drink or may offer to buy you some food, and absolutely you can say, oh yeah, okay, sure, I wouldn't mind to get a coffee with you, but that is on the client, and the client needs to be the one that is initiating, okay? Once again, if we find out that you are pushing that a client has to do this, it's plain and simple that it will not be tolerated, okay? Formal warnings or even your loss of work will come if you're doing that, okay? If you make fun of my weight, clothes, or the food I eat, look, guys, think about ourselves. Okay, we all know that weight is a very sensitive issue. We know that it can be very hard for some people to put on weight, while other people it's very hard for them to lose weight. We know that people have conditions that mean that they rapidly put them on or lose weight as well. So we don't like it when people make fun of us or look at us. So just don't do it, guys. Okay, we don't like when people make fun of our clothes or judge us because we've chosen to eat a particular item. It may not fit in with your belief system or with your culture, but just like you want to be respected for your culture or for your beliefs. Well, they also want to be respected. I just can't say it enough, guys. Respect, respect, respect. When you don't tell me you have used the last of an item or an item is empty. We know how frustrating it is when you go to the fridge and you go to get your bottle of milk out to make your coffee and there's no milk. And then you ask your partner or your children or your housemate and they go, oh yeah, I finished that yesterday. And you go, and you didn't tell me? I was out in town yesterday. I could have got milk. How am I going to have my coffee? I've now got to jump in the car and go and get milk before I can have my coffee. My whole morning's ruined. It's annoying for us. So don't do it to your clients. Okay, guys? If that's how we feel when people do it to us, then just don't do it to your clients. Get in their shoes. Get in their perspective. Understand that it's going to be annoying for them. And some of these people have got consistent carers back to back. So then that carer is going to go, well, it's not here. And then they can't find it. And then the next carer comes. And it's just this consistent drone. Okay. And then it's the he said, she said, and well, I came in, it wasn't there. So it obviously wasn't me. And then everybody wants to place the blame game. And it becomes a very uncomfortable situation for the client and for the home. And in times of COVID as well, things just can't be easily accessible sometimes, okay? So just be aware and just give them a courtesy. Hey, I've just pulled the last milk out of the fridge, just so you know. Or hey, your milk's halfway finished and you don't have any spares. Okay, hey, just finish your shampoo, all right? Maybe you want to put that on your list. Some courtesy, okay? And now lucky last one. When you are not honest with me, if you've broken something, we know that accidents happen, guys. We know that you may not mean to break it, but it's going to happen sometimes. We know that's uncomfortable to talk about these things, but it's going to be even more uncomfortable if that client is now confronting you or calling the office and I've got to come and intervene and have a face-to-face with both of you to find out what's going on. Talk to your client. Maybe you've broken a dish, okay? But maybe that client goes, you know what, it's a really old dish anyway, I didn't like it, it was ugly. That's fine. Or maybe I don't know, you've broken their new mug and they go, actually, I really love that mug. Can you please buy me another one? And it'd be like, okay, cool. But maybe it's an expensive item and you're going, I didn't break it. I didn't do it. I was just vacuuming and from nowhere the nozzle came off and I can't get it back on and I've realized that it snapped, but I didn't do anything. I didn't knock it on anything. It's just done it. So maybe then you and the client can't come to an agreement, then you can call the office and we can intervene and we can find out a solution for you guys. Okay, so please just have honesty. When there's no honesty, you're gonna have your client lose trust in you, and then there's gonna be frustration. And once again, as well, if they don't know that something's been broken, if you've broken their shampoo bottle or their medicine bottle, and then they go and get it and they can't all of a sudden take their important medicine in the morning because you broke the bottle and you didn't tell them, then maybe that client may not be able to go without important medication or may not be able to wash their hair on hair wash day, which is going to set off a behavior because, well, I have to wash my hair on hair wash day. So just understand that, guys. All right. Thanks so much for listening. Take a lot of care and keep on reading all of these important notes. Contact me if you have questions.